We're ready. Brad, are you ready to celebrate?
Yeah.
We are proud to celebrate our graduating scholars with their friends and family today, and so glad that you could join in the celebration. I'm pleased to invite our faculty from the Department of Earth and Space Sciences to join me in the front stage. On the mark, the faculty will walk down the center aisle and join me on the stage to be seated. Faculty can take the seats. I'll point out some of the traditions behind our fancy robes. Our regalia originates from medieval traditions in Europe, where the design of the robe indicates the degree that was obtained, while also keeping the individual's warm. An undergraduate degree earns the robe of a standard black robe. Those with a master's degree earn robes with hoods and extended sleeves. Those with PhD earns have robes with hoods and with stripes on the sides. The various colors that you see and style of regalia reflect the individual university from which the degree was obtained. For example, Professor Emerita was right there in the middle. She received her PhD from the University of Wisconsin, the other UW. That features the red and black velvet. Faculty of the Department of Earth and Space Sciences, graduates and undergraduate students, parents, supporters, and friends, welcome to our department celebration. The University of Washington acknowledges the Coast Salish peoples of this land, the land which touches the shared waters of all tribes and bands within the Squamish, Tulalip, and Muckleshoot nations. My name is David Schmidt, and I'm the chair of the Department of Earth and Space Sciences. It is my pleasure to welcome you and to facilitate our event today. Our commencement ceremony here is meant to celebrate the accomplishments of our students and send them off into the world with new skills and knowledge. The Department of Earth and Space Sciences serves the residents of Washington State by providing education and training in how our planet and environment works. This year, the department is celebrating our 130th anniversary. We are very grateful for our department community and its history, all the students, staff, and scholars who have studied, worked, and taught here, the relationships that have been built, the experiences shared, the personal and individual growth, the generation of knowledge about the Earth, the space and the planets. At some point in their university experience, our graduates here today share with a parent or guardian or supporter their plans to major in Earth and Space Sciences. Perhaps some of you wondered, what's the value in that? Why are you interested in rocks? Why can't you major in something more practical like accounting? Graduates, do you want to be accountants? Students are curious about the physical world around them and are motivated to improve the well-being of society. Let me help to explain the unique sets of skills and abilities in which our students are trained. Our graduates understand and appreciate the intricacies of the natural world. They understand how the landscape has evolved around us, how mountains are formed, how canyons are carved. They understand the concept of deep time. We humans think on the order of years or decades, whereas our planet and solar system evolves on a timescale of millions to billions of years. It is hard for most humans to imagine time and space beyond our own existence. Our students are trained to think beyond the here and the now. They understand how planets are formed and self-organized. They understand what are the conditions for life to exist and thrive, and how that life has evolved over geological time. Those with a degree in Earth and Space Sciences gain a skill set that allows them to envision the full picture with only a limited set of clues. Think of a jigsaw puzzle where only half the puzzle pieces are available. Our grads have the unique skills to see the big picture where those who are traditionally trained disciplines would flounder. Our graduates are prepared to confront some of the grand challenges of our society. They know how to prepare and mitigate for natural hazards such as earthquakes, floods, and landslides. They have the knowledge of how Earth's climate has changed through time, both hot and cold extremes, driven by fluctuations in atmospheric greenhouse gases, surface albedo, and solar fluxes. They understand how to manage water resources that sustain our society and our growth. And they have the skills needed to deal with big data sets and to leverage artificial intelligence. Who curates the data sets used by the insurance companies to set premiums that reimburse damages from natural disasters? A geoscientist does that. Who finds the rare earth elements that are the building blocks of our technology? A geoscientist does that. Who determines whether a plot of land is able to support a tall building, or if the soil foundation is at risk of instability and earthquake? A geoscientist does that. Our graduates will be the next generation of planetary explorers who will interpret satellite data and retrieve surface samples to look at evidence of past life on other worlds, to search for mineral resources on other planets, and to identify places for future human habitation. Some of our graduates here today may even be so lucky as to visit these planetary bodies themselves. Our graduates have faced many hurdles during their Husky journey. They have overcome obstacles and personal struggles or performed outside duties. And while some of these experiences have been painful or difficult, all provide the life lessons that make them stronger people. I ask those graduates who have worked a part-time or full-time job to please stand. If you have raised a child or cared for a loved one, please stand. If you have performed military service, please stand. If you are a non-traditional student or have faced other barriers, please stand. If you are a first-generation college student, please stand. If you are a student who has navigated health issues, please stand. If you have faced personal loss or other struggles for any number of reasons, please stand. Please join me in a round of applause to acknowledge those who have already. As educators, the faculty and I are energized by seeing our students grow and succeed, while they also juggle the many due dates and expectations of being a student. I want to recognize the significant accomplishments of our students. Graduates, if you have earned department, interdisciplinary, or college honors, please stand. If you received university honors, cum laude, magna cum laude, or summa cum laude, please stand. If you received a department fellowship, scholarship, or outside award, please stand. If you conducted independent research, please stand. If you participated in field work, please stand. If you're a student athlete, please stand. If you participated in student leadership for organizations or university clubs, please stand. If you participated in outreach or service during your time as a student, please stand. Please help me to congratulate our graduates on their academic. To accomplish all of these wonderful things, our graduates have benefited from a support system that has encouraged their growth and development. I ask the members of our audience to stand if you fall into one of the following groups. If you are a parent or a guardian of one of our graduates, please stand. If you provided financial support such as tuition for a graduate. If you provided advice to a friend that's a graduate or provided a shoulder to cry on during a difficult time. If you are an instructor or advisor that helped our graduates gain new insight or knowledge, please stand. Thank you for supporting our students and ensuring their success. Graduates, please step aside so there's a princely step aside. Graduates, I wish you all the success as you move to the next stage of your life. Be boundless. I hope you look back on your time at the University of Washington in the department with fondness. Please keep in touch. We want to hear about your future successes. Now it's time to move forward on the rest of our commencement agenda. I'd like to introduce our alumni speaker for this evening. Dr. Kathy Troost received her master's and PhD in geology from the Department of the University of Washington, that's us. She obtained a BA in geology from Indiana State University. She recently retired from UW after a 12-year teaching position in our department focused on applied geology. Her 45-year career also included 21 years as a consultant geologist, working mostly for Shannon & Wilson Incorporated, and 12 years as a research geologist at UW, making high-resolution geologic and hazard maps of our area. In addition to field mapping, her research focused on the last 100,000 years of Quaternary history in the Puget Sound region, where she and her colleagues identified new geological units and advanced our understanding of interglacial, glacial events, and depositional environments. A self-proclaimed field geologist, her passion is to connect students and professionals to the wonderful world of field observation to better society's use of and position in our environment. To this end, she has also convened many workshops and conferences for professionals and public, largely focusing on landslides, the effect of earthquakes in the Pacific Northwest. Please help me welcome Dr. Kathy Troost.
Thank you, David. Good evening, I guess. I didn't know if it's going to be afternoon or evening. So anyway, hello. I'm very honored to be up here today. Never would I have thought of doing something like this. And you'll hear why when I carry on. To those of you graduating, congratulations. This is amazing that you've gotten to this point and you've done that all on your own. Faculty and staff, you rock, right? Don't they rock? Yeah. And then the rest of you here in person and online, thank you for being here to support your loved ones. So I ask you graduates, how are you feeling? Woo. Excited, check. Scared, maybe. Apprehensive, ready to get on with this thing and get rid of those boards? Yeah, okay. We'll hurry on here. I hope in all of those feelings that you're also feeling very proud of yourself and very empowered, because you should. You graduating today all overcame many struggles, and we just saw how hard you have worked and all the struggles you've overcome to get to this point. It's so impressive to see you here. Way to go. See what other music we can get. You know, hard work, serendipity, and luck all played a role in getting you to this point. To quote my brother-in-law and the Roman philosopher Seneca, by the way, they are not the same person. Just to clarify, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Have you heard that before? I love it, right? So just think about it. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. In other words, you can create your own luck And I'm proud to be able to say I've created my own life, because you are now prepared and a world of opportunities awaits you. As I look out over this graduating class and think of the exciting future that lies ahead of you, I'm reminded of my own career path, and I want to share some advice that I hope will be of some use to you. And it's based on sort of my own struggles and exciting moments, serendipity and luck along the way. I was the first in my family to go to college, and I was the only female in most of my geology classes. And I know there's others around here who can say the same thing. I'm sure some of you can relate to that sort of feeling of isolation, being the only one, right? Your drive, however, and you clearly have drive or you wouldn't be sitting here today. Your drive will help you endure uncomfortable situations, and you're going to get stronger every day as a result of that. And remember what's so nice about today and some of the folks and staff in our department, we have resources to help if you are feeling particularly isolated for some reason. I had no idea what I was going to do when I graduated with my bachelor's degree back in Indiana. I hope some of you may feel this very same thing right now. Maybe you don't know either. I was shy, I lacked confidence, even though I had that righteous indignation of a recent college graduate. After all, I knew the chemical formula for quartz, right? Argue with me. I got my first job in geology by using something called a phone book. I know, some of you know what that is, right? You can explain to the grads later. For a shy, introverted, soft-spoken young woman from a small, sheltered, narrow-minded, backwards part of Indiana, presenting myself for interviews in the big city was daunting. But my cover letter, yes, cover letter, and resume sent to every geology listing in the St. Louis phone book, of which there were 4, by the way. I don't know how many there are today. It landed me an interview, but I had to push myself outside of my comfort zone. And I did that because I wanted to be a geologist. I was rewarded for pushing myself because I landed my first real geology job, making a whopping $4 an hour. I was so excited. I went out and got a new truck. That was a long time ago. You'd make a little bit more, right? I was also rewarded with a work environment where I was the only female again, and where my new colleagues, some of them at least, were disrespectful, slanderous, and dismissive. A few months after I started, I was offered a transfer to Fairbanks, Alaska, with the same company. Should I do it? I don't know. Who would turn down a trip to Alaska? But that was a tough decision, given, my sort of personality at the time. My dad told me to follow my gut, and that I would only be a 1-day's trip from home, should anything come up. I made lists of pros and cons. How many people made those kinds of lists? Positive, negative, positive, negative. I made lists, but I just couldn't come to a decision. One of the big cons for me was the winter weather. We didn't winter. And in some places in Indiana, we had some pretty crazy winter. Ice storms and ice a quarter of an inch thick on the branches, etc. Then I found a decision-making strategy that worked for me. I would try on each of those options. So I went to bed assuming I had accepted the offer. And I really tried to convince myself, I'm taking this job. I've already said I'm taking this job. When I awoke, I was so excited about starting my new job in a fantastic place. All day, I felt great. I felt liberated. And I even started planning what I would do in a place with textbook geology everywhere. If you've been to Alaska, you know what I'm talking about. The next night, I told myself, I am not moving to Alaska. It's cold, there's all kinds of bugs. And this was for its location in Fairbanks, which is in the interior, right? So serious climate. When I woke up, I was not excited, but rather feeling empty, wondering where my fledgling career would take me next. It turns out, as much as I hated to admit it, my dad was right. I needed to listen to my gut. I needed to follow my heart. And stewing on it, sleeping on it, really helped me hear what my heart was saying. So as scary as it was for me, a shy, single young woman, to make such a big change, I moved to Alaska. Here's where some serendipity comes in. Another geologist from the same company, but from the Seattle office, arrived at the same time to do the exact same job I was brought up. That was kind of confusing, right? So I pushed myself to learn as much as I could about Alaska geology and permafrost. And I fought to get put on the most challenging geology projects. Remember, this is a very shy person, but I was really determined at this point. My passion for geology steeled me to leave my comfort zone, leading to working on some amazing projects, several of which were helicopter supported in remote locations like high in the Alaska range. Imagine, it was a dream job. I wanted, because there were the two of us there now for this particular position, I wanted to become indispensable before the company realized their snafu and sent one of us back. Good thing though, since that other geologist eventually became my partner. Serendipity. Because of lack of serendipity, my career path was anything but linear. I took some detours along the way before I got here, building a family, quitting for a while so we could move to Montana, then going back to work after my husband and I decided that I would be the breadwinner and he would stay home. I managed to have it all, almost. I have to be honest, those years were very difficult at times. I thought I had a great job, and I did. I made good money, which I miss. So I continued to work in consulting for a few decades. You know, you never know what will happen along your career path. For example, a chance meeting of a stranger looking at rocks, mind you, in a basement at a friend's birthday party in Seattle led me to grad school. I didn't get my master's until I was 42 and my PhD until I was 60, but that's okay. It worked. I ended up where I wanted to be and enjoyed the ride. You don't know it now, graduates, but serendipity and luck are going to play big roles in your career. Another stroke of luck for me, and the big decision point, came about while I was working on my master's here in this department. Would I want to quit my secure, full-time, well-paying, but by then stressful job and become a research scientist at UW, making geologic maps of urban areas funded by fickle resources, right? Federal money, for example. How can I leave that awesome income and that secure job? So here I am, back to my tried and true strategy of decision making. If I had made my decision using a pro and con list, I would not be standing up here today. Why is that? Because we use our brains to make those lists. And our brains love logic. And it was not a decision to be made on logic. It was a decision to be made on emotion. What worked for me and what I encourage each of you to do is to follow your gut, follow your heart, trust your instincts. They're good. You have good instincts. We all have good instincts. Have confidence that you know what is best for you. You do know what's best for you, even if you don't know it, right? Even if the pathway isn't clear or it's uncertain, accept new challenges. By the way, a decade later, after accepting the position here at the university, science funding tanked. Does that sound familiar? Sadly, right? But that chaos led to the opportunity to hang up my own shingle and then ultimately to teaching in this department. I've had many crucial moments and many challenges to overcome, as you will too. Discrimination and harassment, cross-country moves, job changes, daily migraines, helping too many family members in hospice care, and loss of my life partner. What keeps me going? What keeps you going? You all face some pretty serious challenges and have some amazing accomplishments already. For me, it's the beautiful moments, my desire to explore, my passion for geology, even though I'm supposedly retired, the need to help others, my desire to share this wonderful world with others, my friends, and most importantly, my family. Because I've learned to trust my gut and follow my heart. So here you are. Some of you know exactly what you're going to do after you celebrate this major accomplishment. Some of you have a job. Some of you are already lined up to go to graduate school. And some of you are going to take some much deserved time off. Some of you are already well into your careers. And some of you will have to find a job right away. And I'll bet you're thinking, in this uncertain time, how am I going to find a career building job with the science funding in the state that it's in? After all, we don't have phone books anymore. How are you going to do it? But you have more resources at your fingertips. Be patient. Look at your options. Look outside the box. Use your network, including faculty and staff that you've come to know here at the university and your fellow graduates. Try not to despair about the chaos and uncertainty that surrounds us outside these walls. Sun Tzu, a legendary historical and military figure who is credited, quote unquote, with writing The Art of War, but they don't know for sure if he actually existed, just by the way. He supposedly said, in chaos lies opportunity, right? So there's opportunity out there for you. I know there is. And since you are prepared, you have your degree, you should have some luck. Remember, luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. Your career path will likely be rough. It could be curvy and have some detours and delays. The path can be scary and overwhelming, even if you don't want to admit that. But it's also going to be very exciting and full of new adventures and exciting challenges. You have what it takes to overcome those challenges. You're determined, you are resilient, and you are already successful. Because after all, you're sitting here right now, graduating. So have confidence in yourself, you've earned it. And remember that luck happens when preparation meets opportunity. You're prepared. And in chaos lies opportunity. I'm certain of it for you. I'm excited for you. So go out and start or continue a fabulous career path. Enjoy where it takes you. Be adventurous and challenge yourself. And most of all, trust your gut and follow your heart. Only you know what's best for you, and you rock. Congratulations.
Next speaker representing our graduate students, invite Andrew to come on up. Andrew Shumway is a planetary scientist and astrobiologist who studies the elusive role of water on Mars. As a member of NASA's Perseverance rover science team, he assists with the daily operations of the rover and investigates the geochemistry of Martian rocks and soil. His dissertation explores how soil, salt, and water interact on Mars to chemically weather the surface and possibly even create habitable niches. Back on Earth, Andrew enjoys bird watching, wildlife photography, and paddling with his origami kayak. After graduation, Andrew will continue exploring Mars as a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Washington's Applied Physics Laboratory. Andrew.
Thank you, David, for the wonderful introduction. It's an honor to speak to you all today. I promise we didn't plan this, but my speech is also about luck. And Kathy already said everything much more eloquently. But I was thinking, when I was thinking about what to say today, I was reminded of a quote by a comedian who said something along the lines of, never take advice from people like me who have gotten just extremely lucky, because we're all biased by that luck. Any advice that we give is like a lottery winner telling you to liquidate all your assets and spend all your money on Powerball tickets because it really works. But I don't really feel like I've won the lottery, but I do feel like I've gotten to where I am today through many different instances of like lucky moments throughout my career. So the first one came as an undergraduate. I was working part-time at the campus gym. And one day I was approached by a graduate student who was in planetary sciences and recognized me from a seminar that I had been attending that was based on planetary science. And he asked if I was interested in getting involved in some research. And I said, absolutely, yes. So he ended up connecting me with the people who became my undergraduate research mentors, and that started my career in planetary science. My next lucky moment came as I was applying to graduate schools as a senior undergrad. I applied to 11 different schools across the country and then waited for months as there was a steady drip of rejection. And just when I thought that all hope was lost, it was about mid-April, I finally got an email from a professor here at the University of Washington who spontaneously had been doing fieldwork in Antarctica and had missed kind of that peak window when you're recruiting graduate students, and was wondering if I would be interested in if I'm coming and doing a PhD here. And we interviewed one thing led to another, and it was now I'm here with a PhD. So my third lucky moment came about partway through graduate school. I honestly was at one of the low points in graduate school, and I really couldn't see a path to completing my degree. And I was thinking a lot about what it would look like to drop out and go do something else. And just at the right time, a friend approached me who worked on the Perseverance rover on Mars and asked if I would be interested in joining the team, and connected me with the principal investigator for the mission here at University of Washington. And I ended up becoming a member of that team and working to operate the rover. And that really opened up just exciting new projects to work on and really reignited my passion for what I was doing. So since luck played such a huge role in me getting to here where I am today, I wonder what advice can I give that is applicable and not biased by this like survivor bias. But I guess the best that I can do is just pass on wisdom from people who are much wiser than me. So one piece of advice that my dad gave me long ago that stuck with me all these years is put yourself in a place where luck can find you. So what does that mean? To me, that means showing up, whether that's in your community, in social events, in professional events, even if you don't see reason to show up, or even if it'd be easier to just stay home and like watch TV or like scroll TikTok or whatever, it is so important to just be out there, because you never know when you'll be at the campus gym and someone will recognize you from a seminar you went to like a few weeks ago and ask you if you want to like offer you a chance of a lifetime to get involved in planetary research. My second thing is build skills. Even if it's not immediately apparent how those skills are going to be useful, become the master of some skills, whatever skills you're passionate about, so that when those opportunities do arise, you are the person to be able to take advantage of those opportunities. And then thirdly, if you really care about something, be persistent. Be like the rover, which is called perseverance. Perseverance is so important in us as humans, because of all the times when you're at those low points and you're not sure if you're going to make it, having that perseverance and holding on to hope is so important. And then just as a rule of thumb, just be kind to everyone. There are a lot of like mean people out there, and just no one wants to work with them. And I've found that just by being kind to everyone, even the people who are mean back and who slight you, it makes you more people will want to work with you, and that'll bring you more opportunities. And then finally, when luck finds you, be ready to seize it. Have the skills and have the faith in yourself to put the imposter syndrome to the side, grab that opportunity. It doesn't matter if you got rejected from 10 grad schools, you got into one, and now you have your PhD, and it's great. So I want to wrap by acknowledging that those of us who are graduating today are graduating into a very uncertain world. There have been massive cuts to science funding that threaten America's leadership in science, in my opinion. There have been attacks on academic freedom, including here at the University of Washington, and attacks on freedom of speech. So I'll close by repeating a mantra that has gotten me through some really hard times, which I will probably keep repeating to myself for the years to come, which is a phrase in Latin, per aspera ad astra, which roughly translates to through adversities to the stars. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for those words. We will be inviting our graduating PhD and master's students to line up for our wedding. Guests are welcome to take photos as desired, but please be careful not to obstruct the view of our photographer. All photos we take will be available on our website. Master and PhD graduates, please keep your hood with you. They just disappeared in the back there. Draped across your right arm, you'll be directed to present your name card at the podium. And when your name is called, please join your faculty hooder on stage facing the podium. After your hooding and photo, please remain to the left side of the auditorium near the stage. You'll be called back for a group photo. Okay, that's stage. So faculty hooder. Please meet the student on the stage so his name is called and stand behind the podium. And please remember to wait for a pause and a clapping for the next. Okay. Those logistics set, I'm happy to introduce Dr. Fan-Chin Tang, who is professor and associate chair of the Department of Earth and Space Sciences. Professor Tang serves as our graduate program chair, and we'll speak a little bit about our graduate program.
Thank you, David. I'm very nervous. Dear family and friends, I'm very proud to introduce our graduate program. As you may know, or you may not know, but you will know now, our graduate program is ranked among the top 5 programs in Earth and Space Sciences globally. Out of how many? Not 5. Out of thousands of similar programs. So our graduate students have become leaders in government, industry, and academics. I just want to give you one set of data. To date, our department has produced around 2,000 faculties in Earth and Space Sciences, just in the United States alone. So this fact itself shows you how great our program has been. So today, we are very excited to introduce the graduating PhD students. This year, we graduated with 2 PhD students, and both of them have done a fabulous job in their research, and they are the rising stars in their respective fields. So congratulations to both of them. Andrew Shuey, Doctor of Philosophy in Earth and Space Sciences and Astrobiology, tutored by Joshua Christensen Totten. Thesis: Soils, Source and Water, Geochemical and Astrobiological Investigations of Briny Martian Regoliths.
With this, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Earth and Space Sciences.
Lucas Pfeiffer, Doctor of Philosophy in Earth and Space Sciences and Astrobiology, tutored by Josh Christensen Totten. Thesis: Insight into Enceladus ocean chemistry, habitability, and path from fractionation studies of the erupting blue.
Philosophy in Earth and Space Science.
That group photo of the two of you, but that was just so much. So come on back. We'll grab that photo. I'll move on to hear from our undergraduate speaker. Jamie Lutz is a University of Washington undergraduate student graduating with the College Honors in Earth and Space Sciences on the biology track and environmental science and resource management. She worked with the Stromberg Lab from 2023 to 2024, making geochemical profiles of middle Miocene upstream sediments. Currently, Jamie is working in the Doty Lab, looking at Hawaiian primary successors, basalts. She has been in the Husky marching band the past 4 years, spending the first 3 in the clarinet section, and most recently serving as the drum major, where she will return in the fall while finishing some research projects. Jamie's also enjoyed getting outside and exploring Seattle with the Husky Triathlon Club and competing at regional collegiate races. Post-graduation, Jamie will spend a year exploring the world before applying to grad school. She has too many interests to currently know where to apply. So if you have ideas, please let her know. And she'll dearly miss social hour with her side of studying at the table on the 3rd floor on the elevator. Jamie.
Did anyone else's mouth just get really dry? Or was that just First, thank you all for being here, and thank you to our faculty and staff and our friends and family who have gotten us all to this point. We couldn't have been here without you. Throughout history, there have always been times when it feels like darkness is prevailing, when it feels like the future we worked for and hoped for and lived for is slipping further and further away. I think it can be said, for most of us, this feels like a dark time. But I hold comfort in knowing that we are not alone in this feeling, and that in the course of human history, there have been periods of darkness, but they did not last. Science, as we all know, has not always been believed nor trusted. A whole host of great minds were ignored and then prosecuted for their belief in the heliocentric model. For a long time, it was impossible to believe that the Earth was ancient, stretching in age further than 6,000 years. More recently still is the idea that our continent drifts, which was met with opposition for decades. Each of these discoveries was met with resistance, but the great minds that brought these ideas to light never wavered. And in time, these discoveries would prove to hold true, and they would build the foundations of what we study today. In our time, resistance to scientific fact is common. So therefore, it is up to us to add our names to the list of greats who have come before us, and it is up to us to not waver in our beliefs. It is scary, I think, for our lives to be at a point of transition at this time. But as we leave the safety of our classrooms, I will take comfort in knowing that science can be a powerful force of good. And regardless of the paths we are embarking on, we each have a duty to keep it focused on being a force of good. By studying science, we are participating in an endeavor that is bigger than ourselves, and far bigger than the petty minds of those who do not recognize it, the value of it. And as we know, science is not based on the whims of fancy or the culture that surrounds us, but instead on logic and reason. And so sane minds will prevail, as they always have. Looking at the faces in front of me now, I am filled with hope. Through the countless hours spent together wedged in the back of 2 cars on the way to field trips, hours poring over cross sections that we simply do not yet understand, memorizing all 4.6 billion years of Earth's history, and then taking an exam on it, looking at thin sections and immediately looking up pictures of kyanite and PPL and XPL, identify what we are seeing, and sitting together on the 3rd floor, we have shown through our hard work and dedication that we are students who are passionate, resourceful, and tenacious. And from this, I know that we will be people who are curious and spirited, and who persevere at every roadblock and opportunity. We will bring compassion and empathy to both the world around us and to each other, as we work earnestly to solve the most important problems of our lives. The message of hope I want to leave you with is that science will continue to persist and persevere, and that hope is not some pretty, delicate thing painted well. Hope is each of us, being knocked down, battered, and bruised, and choosing still to stand, and choosing still to move out of darkness and into the light. Thank you all, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
We're inviting our graduating bachelor students in line for the processional in a few moments here. Again, guests are welcome to take as many photos as desired, but please be careful not to obstruct the view of our photographer front. And our photos will be available on the website in a few weeks. Bachelor graduates, if you are wearing academic regalia, please keep your tassel positioned to the right side. You'll be directed to present your name card at the podium. When your name is called, please walk behind the podium to meet me in the middle of the stage, and then return to your seat by passing behind the faculty, in front of the faculty, using the stairs on the left side of the stage. After everyone has walked, we will call you back up to the stage for a group photo. And then you can follow the directions of Kristen over on the sides there, who will line you up. I am now happy to introduce Dr. Allison Duvall, who is Associate Professor and Associate Chair in the Department of Earth and Space Sciences. Professor Duvall serves as the Undergraduate Program Chair, and will speak a little bit about our undergraduate degree.
Good evening. I am so pleased to celebrate the accomplishments of our amazing ESS bachelor's graduates with you today. It will be my honor and privilege to call out the names of each student in a few moments. But first, let me say a few words about what they've been doing over these last years, because it's pretty incredible. Our program has 5 degree pathways that cover the breadth of all physical Earth processes, including glaciers, earthquakes, the changing surface of our planet, Earth chemistry, biology, and much more. Your students' teachers are top experts in their fields, having studied Earth and planetary processes all over the world. In ESS, we strive to instill in our students fundamental skills in scientific inquiry and curiosity, so that they may understand the physical systems that govern our planet and universe. Your students have developed exceptional and transferable skills in thinking about the connectivity of natural processes in human society, and how to use quantitative data to understand the world around them. They have learned how to think critically, be analytical, and work in teams. In classrooms, labs, and in the field, our students grow into scientists and practitioners who can take their training into all sectors of society for the betterment of our world. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to ask for some music cue, and we're going to go ahead and bring out the graduates. Katie Park. Science and Earth and Space Science, biology option. Microbiology minor, departmental honors, baccalaureate honors, cum laude.
Yay!
Esperanza Gonzalez Toribio. Space Science, geoscience option, minor Spanish. Eli Hess, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geoscience option, Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Tasha Perks, Bachelor of Science in Space Science, Physics option, Mathematical Physics minor, Baccalaureate honors, cum laude. Naomi Heath, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, biology option. Double degree in Spanish, departmental honors. Pine Dysart Griffin, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geoscience option. Veronica Fula, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geoscience option. Minors in data science, digital arts, and experimental media. Yu Yang Da, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, physics option. Edmund Yin, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, physics option. Jamie Lutz, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, biology option. Interdisciplinary honors, departmental honors, college honors. Hari Mohan, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geoscience option. Nathan Marcus, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, physics option. Minors in applied mathematics and physics. Jacob Ward, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, physics option. Minor in applied mathematics. Alex Rose, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geology option. Eric Perkins, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, physics option, departmental honors. Julie Sarno, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geology option. Benjamin Paulson, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, geology option. Brian McCarthy, Bachelor of Arts in Earth and Space Sciences, interdisciplinary science concentration. Jonathan Lindman, BA, ESS Geoscience. Eugene Kim, Bachelor of Arts in Earth and Space Sciences, interdisciplinary science concentration. Leanne Stair Tucker. Space Science, Geology Option, Departmental Honors, Baccalaureate Honors, cum laude. Meredith Kaz K, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, Quantitative Science minor. Andrea Yu, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, minors in Climate Science and Music. David Osmus, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Biology option, Paleobiology, Departmental Honors. Cassandra Violet Condi, Bachelor of Science, ESS Biology option. Ava Hart, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, minor in Environmental Studies. Maro Sabibis, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option. Lauren Woods, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geology option, Chemistry, Departmental Honors. Cassandra Mburi, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option. Garrett Stronghold, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Physics option. Riel Heron, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geology option, Departmental Honors. Aiden Deely, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Physics option, minors in Mathematics and Piano Performance, Departmental Honors. Eliza Seelan Formonte, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option. Allison Martin, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, minor in Informatics. Hamzi Rafi, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, minor in Data Science, Departmental Honors. Alyssa Sabruden, Bachelor of Science in Earth and Space Science, Geoscience option, minor in Anthropology, Departmental Honors. Congratulations to the class of 2025.
Back up to the top here so we can take a group photo. And we'll have picture photo. Stage up. You can come out to the front edge if you want to kneel down. Squeeze in. Everybody in position? Okay, smile, smile. This time has come. Please turn your tassel to the right side of your, from the right side to the left side. I am happy to present the graduating class of 25 for the Department of Earth and Space Sciences. Congratulations. We can throw your hat in the mix. I want to thank everybody for joining us for this important celebration. To all of our graduates and their families, congratulations. This concludes our commencement celebration. We invite you to join us for a reception outside the ballroom. Have a good evening, everybody.